Hello and welcome to Silver Linings, your show dedicated to programs and services for seniors, disabled persons, and their caregivers. I'm your host, Bernice Osborne, and this show is brought to you by Boston Senior Home Care. For our new viewers, Boston Senior Home Care is a not-for-profit organization that provides case management, social services, and care planning for people who want to remain at home safely and independently. Today on our show, we're excited to have the new Chief Executive Officer of Boston Senior Home Care, Meg Hogan. Welcome to the show, Meg.
Thank you. Thanks very much for having me.
It's great to have you here. So how long has it been, Meg?
Okay, so it's been 5 weeks today.
Oh my gosh.
So we'll have a little celebration.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, 5 weeks.
Five
and
busy
it has
weeks.
Flown by.
I'm
yes,
sure.
very, very busy,
I'm
but
sure.
exciting, very exciting.
Good. We're excited to have you as part of the
thanks.
team. What types of activities have you participated in the last 5 weeks?
It has been a whirlwind of meetings. I said that I would meet everybody. As you know, we have 160 employees, so that's no easy feat.
Yeah.
And I think I remember about half their names. But, I think I've met most everybody. Now I'm really trying to break it down and meet in small groups. I really want to hear feedback from people, the strengths, weaknesses.
Yeah.
I've been meeting with our partners to see how we collaborate, and then meeting with other agencies like ours in Massachusetts to get their perspective on agencies and in terms of what we do, what does the future look like for the big picture.
Right,
So,
right. Well, that's great. You've
Yeah,
really been getting
so-
around. I've actually seen you at some of the events that Boston Senior Home Care has
Yes.
hosted. We had the vendor resource fair.
Yeah, that was fabulous. There were so many vendors, we had to split it. For those who don't know, we actually had to split it for morning and afternoon because we had so many people. We work with so many vendors that provide support for our elders and disabled. So it's just was a really easy way for
Yeah,
me to meet some other and some new folks. So
Yes,
that
and
was
I
good.
also saw you at the Boston Elder Info Speaker Series that focused on
That
caregiving.
was exciting. Yeah, it was
There was
really
a great lineup of speakers there.
Alice Bonner was there. Mike Festa was there. They had a lot of meaningful words to put out there in terms of how we need to really look at the long term, so that it's easy when someone has a death in the family to be able to be compassionate. It's harder for businesses when you're looking at something more in the long term.
Yeah.
So when someone has someone that's ill over the course of a year or 2 years, how do you work that in to be compassionate and still be able to make it work for the organization and for the individual?
Right.
And people came up with some great ideas, and corporations that have put in some really innovative programs.
Yeah, it was very good.
So,
There was a lot
yeah,
of
it was
useful
excellent.
information and resources there.
Right,
So it was a great
right,
event.
yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit about your background, Meg? Because it sounds like you've got a lot of experience.
Sure, yes. So my clinical background is social work, and I actually started in nursing homes. I also worked for, back then it was called Department of Mental Retardation, but I was a social worker with them and opened up the first group homes for the state for those folks who were like at Belchtown State School and places like that, so that they could move out of the institution. And so that was pretty exciting.
Wow.
And worked in behavioral health and substance abuse. And then my last job, which was covered 8 years, was actually working in home care and hospice, and then visiting nurse services.
Wow.
So that was really exciting. All of them are not for profit. That I'm very mission driven, and we served 100 cities and towns, so a lot of experience across 3 states.
Right. So what attracted you to Boston Senior Home Care? What made you come on over to us?
So, I was looking at that next step in my career and where I wanted to go. And as I said, I've always worked in not-for-profit. So number one was, is it the right mission? It had to be mission-driven, and it had to be, where my strengths were. And so I ended up kind of making a little list for myself.
Yeah.
And it was as if a dream came true when a recruiter reached out and I wanted to say, did you see my list? Because, this is my list.
Right.
So it really was fate that brought us together. And I couldn't have been happier. And it worked out actually fairly quickly. I think within 8 weeks.
Wow.
We had kind of, from the contact to the offer was about 8 weeks. So it was pretty exciting.
Well, that is great. So I know it's only been a short time, but has there been anything that stood out to you in the short time that you've been in your role?
I would say the passion and commitment of the staff. That I joke about meeting with people, but to me that was the number one thing to do. And to the person, people talked about why they did it, why they were in it, how important it was, what could I do to help advance the mission, how do we keep elders and adults with disabilities in their home, what services can we add. So to me that was really exciting.
Right.
Yeah.
So, Meg, I want to share something with you. I know I
Sure.
said there'd be no surprises, but I do have one. So I was able to talk to a couple of the staff members from Boston Senior before I came here today, and I just want to share with you some of the stuff that they said. So somebody said, Meg loves data and numbers, which is great.
This is true.
They also said that Meg is very personable and easy to talk to and works collaboratively. And people are really excited about your examples of leadership and look forward to your goals for the agency. And they really appreciate your ability to build relationships and look forward to the partnerships
that's very
that you'll have
nice.
in the
That's
future.
very
And if I
nice.
could just add, it's just nice to have you walking around the office and really taking an interest in all of the staff and the programs and, getting to know everyone and everything about the program. So it's been nice.
If I didn't do that, then my knowledge would be very limited.
Yeah.
I never was a person to sit in the office. I can take credit for what people do, but the reality is it's everybody out there who's doing the good work, the right work. And, I want to hear from them because the way I see it is my job is to support them.
Right.
And if I don't understand the weaknesses, what do we need to look towards, and then for me to communicate with them about, look, here's where the future is, we might need to make changes, then to me it would be meaningless. So, it's nice to hear that that's reinforced and that people appreciate that. So.
Great. We're looking forward.
Good.
Well, thank you, Meg. We're going to take a short break and we'll be right back with more from Meg Hogan.